Can't really. Let me try to get an angle for some headshots here if I can. The bosses, they just move so much. Oh my goodness, look at this damage we're doing here. How's it going today? Today we're going to look at this Imperial Fist, which is irrelevant to the build, but I just thought it sounded cool to start with that. The Imperial Fist, Chains of Duty, Heavy Bolter, Bonds of Brotherhood build that I kind of just threw together on a whim. And yes, I'm just now noticing that I've got the Ultramarines Iron Halo thing on the back of the Heavy. I didn't end up changing that. I completely forgot. I kind of just threw this cosmetic on a whim just because I thought it fit the build. That's all. That's the only reason. And I'm just now seeing that, which is kind of funny to me. So for this build, the primary goal is to kind of just stick the team together, you know, like buff the team as much as we can, and then rain hellfire with the Chains of Duty Heavy Bolter. So of course we're taking the Chains of Duty Heavy Bolter here, and then in the perk tree we took a path that looked a little bit like this. If you want to, you could go this upper path for these first two perks, because the contingency plan isn't always useful. In fact, it's rarely useful. I find this thing has a really good ammo economy on it, but it is very ammo hungry. So if your team is lacking on clearing out Majoris and Extremist enemies, and you are needing to put that that firepower down range, this thing will eat through ammo. But if you've got a good team, like a Vanguard that's going and like cutting things off at the contestation point of combat, and they're like kind of taking care of some things behind the lines, and you only have to take care of a few, you know, and then you got your sniper also shooting a couple, and everybody's working as one unit, then this thing's ammo can stretch really, really far. So that's how I usually tell when I'm like having to carry for a team, is when like, if this thing runs out of ammo on me, I'm like, man, okay, so my team isn't picking up that much. Or if I'm in a stratagem that has, you know, increased waves and things like that. But anyways, so we decided to go with perpetual cooling and contingency plan. Again, yeah, you can go up here and get perfect cooling. This is actually a really good perk for this this Heavy Bolter, because it doesn't have a very fast cooling time. The venting speed is only 2+, so quite slow if you do overheat it, and it does overheat fairly quickly. You know, when you're holding the trigger down for long periods of time, it overheats fairly often, but that's kind of why you've got a secondary option, so that you can switch to your secondary while it cools off, or do a gun strike, or do a kill animation while it cools off. So it's not really the end of the world if you don't take perfect cooling. You'll see in the video too that like I hardly ever overheat the weapon, and when I do, it's very easy to just go into an execution, get your iframes, and then switch to your secondary for the rest of the time, do a couple of charge shots with the plasma pistol, and then, you know, you're back in business, baby. So we move over to Headhunter for obvious reasons. Extra headshot damage is always good. Increased capacity is very essential for this weapon. Heavy immunity, very, very useful, just to not get knocked back while you're in heavy stance, and you're basically always in heavy stance, especially with this variant, because you only get the benefit of it when you are in... Oh. Why doesn't it say... Okay, so I guess it doesn't say here that you get full rate of fire when you're in heavy stance. It only tells you that perfect parry window is increased by 50% after a gun strike. The weapon is completely cooled. I also forgot that after a gun strike, the weapon's completely cooled. So yeah, maybe don't take what I say and don't take perfect cooling, because that's also in itself just extremely valuable, especially mixed with the perfect parry window of 50%. So yeah, anyways, we move up here to where did I leave off? Heavy immunity, right? So we're gonna move over into Adamant Restoration. This one is just generally useful for, you know, emergencies when your health drops below 30%. You know, you're taking a beating in a mission, and your you need some ammo to kind of fire back. It's always gonna kind of be there for you. Very useful. We got Heavy Might. And another Heavy Might, just for a ton of heavy stance damage. Again, you always are in heavy stance with this weapon, basically, so it's completely nonsensical to be ignoring these two perks. We move over into Discipline, fast venting again, perpetual cooling, and then up for some more ammo, because this thing, while it is ammo, like, I guess if you didn't take the ammo economy perks for this, it would be, like, 450 would go by really fast. But if you take the ammo economy perks for this, you get, like, 630 rounds for it. That can stretch fairly far, so very, very valuable to take those. For our secondary, we decided to go with the plasma pistol. We took the rate of fire variant for obvious reasons. I don't know if it's obvious. Do I need to be doing more explaining? Is this stuff obvious to you? I just feel like by now the game has been out for a while, and people watching build guides, I guess, might already have experience in the game and are just kind of watching for entertainment, or are genuinely looking for advice. If you want more advice, let me know, because I can slow it down and talk about like more in depth. But if you want me to just kind of graze over what I'm doing, you know, just so that you can kind of like copy what I'm doing and not have to think about it. Some people like it that way, you know? So we could do it that way too. But for now, we're just going to kind of stick with the style that'll kind of graze over everything. I'll talk about like more notable things when they do pop up. Otherwise, we'll kind of just, you know, we'll just kind of go over everything super quick so that you guys can get into the gameplay and see what it's like. So for the plasma pistol, we go plasma collection, we go rapid cooling, plasma collection again, divine might, we move over into great might, we go to plasma collection a third time, perpetual velocity, efficient charge, very useful because pretty much I only will be charge firing this thing basically all the time. And then perfect cooling. So very straightforward. Basically just all the ammo economy perks that we could possibly get our grubby little hands on, because this thing's magazine capacity is garbage, but it's very, very strong. So we don't want to ignore that. For a perk tree here, we decided to go with restoration. You could switch restoration out for auxiliary ammunition if you find yourself really needing the extra ammo. I just like this because getting armor from anywhere is extremely valuable, and we already have options to get ammo back, so that's not super important. We go ahead and grab Fortitude to keep us alive. We go ahead and grab Overwhelming Power so that when we've got the Iron Halo up, we and all squad members do 10% more range damage. That synergizes really, really well with Conversion Field, which makes me always want to be near teammates when I've got my Iron Halo up, so I'm kind of like making use of that when I'm not even realizing it, even though 10 meters is very short, so it's a very tight window to do. We decided to go Bonds of Brotherhood just for the sake of kind of helping hold the team together. There's not really, I honestly, in my personal opinion, I'm not a big fan of the heavies team perks much, because Encompassing Aegis is probably my favorite, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because it's one of those perks that has a 100% uptime. You always have this. Every one of your teammates always has this. Additional supplies is really good for heavy and for very specific classes like the tactical, but so many people play Bulwark and so many people like to play Assault that you run a risk of losing value on this tremendously by entering a mission and not playing with a coordinated team. If you're running with even one class that doesn't have a primary weapon, you're cutting a third of this perk's value off of it. And if you happen to load into a queue with two, like a Bulwark and an Assault as your other companions, you are basically cutting 2/3 of the value of additional supplies off. Where in a game, playing a mode where making the most of all your perks and your team efficiency all together makes things happen, you know? It's so hit and miss with this, but when you do hit a good, like a heavy bolt rifle tactical mixed with, like, I don't know, bolt carbine ammo economy variant Vanguard, right? You know, like big ammo guns, and you throw this on, you feel it. You definitely feel it. You guys just have so much bolt ammo to sling down range. It's insane. So yeah, real hit or miss with that, which is why I kind of opt away from it most of the time. And then Bonds of Brotherhood is another one of those that's just very situational. You'll see in this gameplay coming up, we only really make use of it once or twice. So it's one of those ones where, you know, when you do have it, you'll be happy that you have it. When you don't need it, you're pretty disappointed that you didn't need it, you know? So I don't know, kind of do what you want with this team perk section. If you just want something that you're always making use of, Encompassing Aegis by far. And then, you know, if you're a coordinated team, use additional supplies for sure. It's extreme value. And then Bonds of Brotherhood can just be useful in any situation, but it's not guaranteed. So moving over into the actual little bit of a build section here, we decided to go with consecutive execution just to get my grenades back. And I barely even use grenades. I just didn't really know what else to take. I didn't really want to just go Adamant Will, because it's basically like having Conviction for the heavy class, but just having it almost like all the time, especially if you take like field adjustment. And I didn't really feel right taking Emperor's Protection because I hardly ever get use out of this. I think that this needs a buff. I think some of the heavy, I don't know, this might be a hot take, but some of the heavy perks, I think specifically the gear perks, need a bit of a buff or a rework, because one of my favorite things to run on the heavy is Emperor's Protection mixed with either probably this one here or the Bastion or Field Adjustment, and then also taking Wrath of the Imperium, so that you're trying to like use your shield and then run into combat and make your shield run out so that you're making the most value out of Wrath of the Imperium and then also getting rewarded for it through Emperor's Protection. But this setup is so freaking booty cheeks, man. It's so hard to make it happen, especially on higher difficulties, because everything is shooting your shield and you're hardly ever going to make it so that it pops off. And by the time your shield does run out, because if you take like the durability, you know, you got to wait your whole freaking bar to deplete. By the time that runs out of durability, you've either died, or your teammates have cleaned everything up, or you've cleaned everything up, because you don't just want to stand around with your thumb in your ass while you wait for your thing to pop off, your Iron Halo to run out of charge, so that you can proc Wrath of the Imperium and get the most value out of it. Like, I'll hit like 2 Majoras with this, and that's it. Like, it's just such a waste of perks. But yeah, anyways, heated argument aside, so we decided to switch it up to a new setup. We just decided to go with Consecutive Execution. You could go with Adamant Will, either or. If you need a little survivability, go with Adamant Will. If you like having grenades and you're not playing with a tactical, go with Consecutive Execution. We took Power Regulator, so Iron Halo loses energy 20% more slowly, with synergizes really, really well with Overwhelming Power. And our signature over here, Conversion Field, so the longer we can keep that up, the better. And also stay in cohesion with our team. And then we go ahead and grab Brute Force. When Iron Halo is in cooldown, range damage increases by 15%. A lot of people shit on this perk, and I, for very good reasons. I know why, because it kind of makes you always want to be getting rid of your Iron Halo. But if you kind of work around this perk, it can be quite useful, because we're going with Conversion Field, right? Something that rewards me for using my Iron Halo. And then we're going with Power Regulator. I guess that one doesn't reward me for using my Iron Halo, but it, you know, it helps keep it up and make the most out of this conversion field, so it kind of, you know, complements it and makes me want to use it more often. And then we go ahead and have Overwhelming Power, which also rewards me significantly for using my Iron Halo when I have it available, and then also expending the entire charge of it, so it takes a really long time to cool down. So the idea with that setup there is that while I've got my Iron Halo, I pop it up, right? I conversion field, buff my teammates, or at least get their abilities back as fast as I can, and then we're all benefiting from Overwhelming Power, 10% damage, and then when the shield falls off, I've got 15% damage. So it almost rewards me another 5% damage, right? If you rework your thinking a little bit, I'm getting rewarded another 5% damage, or you could just say I'm getting rewarded 15% damage by buffing my team. So I'm getting the fulfillment of buffing my team, helping the squad, increasing their damage, and then when all of that is said and done, I get my buff. You know, the big dog gets to eat, right? So I think that that's a pretty good synergy. There are better options in here. Like, I guess if you are like a diehard Wrath of the Imperium and you're good at making it work, good on you. That's probably like the strongest perk if you can make it work. I don't really like Saving Grace, especially when you've got Bonds of Brotherhood. Not really super useful, but yeah, I don't know. I think that that's good. Anyways, we'll move on. So prestige perks, we gotta go ahead and grab Conviction for obvious reasons. That is just your tanky perk. Conviction mixed with Adamant Will, super strong, because you basically just stack that on top of each other for 45% less health. That makes you extremely durable, but I do like my grenades, so we took Consecutive Execution. Next one here, we got Auxiliary Reload. This one is just extremely valuable, especially on lethal and up difficulties, and we're playing on absolute, so obviously this is very valuable. You run into so many extremists, and they can spawn in packs of 3. Every single time you get an execute on one, you're getting 1 ammo back, 1 weapons ammo by 1 magazine, sorry. But because heavy has weapons that aren't magazine based, other than the heavy bolt rifle, it always gives you back like a percent. And the percent is always a lot. Like, it gives you back, we're talking like 100 bolt rounds for your heavy bolter sometimes, or more even, I don't even know. Then we go ahead and grab Indomitable Spirit. This one's going to help you when you're in a gun strike, not to get absolutely tossed around while you're vulnerable. And then Reverberating Impact, Stomp Area of Effect Radius increases by 50%, just to help you hit more of those pesky Minoris and spread up the pack a little bit more. Give you some breathing room so that, you know, when they do recoup and get back up, they do their little stupid jump attack and you're able to parry and get some armor back. Or, you know, you do your stomp and it puts an enemy in, like a Minoris Tyranid, into gun strike, so you gun strike them, and then you parry another one. It's like, it just helps a lot with increasing your radius and kind of like just letting yourself breathe a little bit. It's not really useful against chaos. But yeah, if you're playing heavy against Tyranids, this perk is going to help a lot with the gaunts and just kind of giving you a little bit of breathing space. So anyways, rant over, enough yapping. Apologies. I feel like I always talk way too much on these, but that is the build. I hope that you guys can utilize this. If you do decide to, you know, let me know what you think of it, and I'll pass you on into some gameplay now. So hope to see you in another video. Take care and goodbye. All right. Excuse me. How's it going, heretics and heroes? That's our new punchline. You like it? No, I'm just kidding. I came up with that on the spot. Totally not scripted. How's it going though? Anybody that may be watching this video, I hope that you're doing good. We did just join in partway to a decapitation mission. No stratagem. We are just taking a look at a heavy, the heroic bolter, not bolter. Yes. Heroic heavy bolter. Not to be confused with the heavy bolt pistol or the heavy bolt rifle. This thing is an absolute monster. And an absolute pleasure to play with. Okay, so these guys are going to come up behind me. Let's handle this business. How did I miss that? This is my warm-up. I did just wake up. Like, I kid you not. Hold on. Let me lock in for a minute. There we go. I did just wake up, like, not even an hour ago. I got my coffee next to me here. We just loaded into a match. Yeah. Alright, let's get down here and help some teammates. Him out of there. Big parry. We did decide to bring the plasma pistol to complement us, as I think versatility is like one of, I don't know. This is a big take. I mean, not really. It's not that hot of a take. It's about as hot as that fire right there. The plasma pistol with versatility is like a super strong combo, and I really like it. I don't watch like a lot of other people's build videos, you know. I do. I know like a few people. Whoa! I do know a few people that do build videos, and I watch them every once in a while. But I've never heard, I swear to goodness, I have never heard anybody that makes videos talk about versatility. And they probably have, okay? So I'm not saying they haven't, but they probably have talked about it, but I haven't seen it. But the perk versatility mixed with the plasma pistol. Aww. Of course, he had to die right as I had so much contested health. I was like, I'm fine. I've got this full-ass heavy bolter. I can just fill up my contested health. Like, when you're heavy, you just can think of these guys as health canisters as long as you've got ammo. Go ahead and throw that on. The thing is that with all the cooling that this thing does have, I don't really need to switch weapons that often. So that synergy is kind of in the garbage so far, it seems, but let's try to stay as close as I can to these guys so that they can get the most out of my conversion field here. Regenerate a bunch of their abilities for this next fight. That's kind of the point. I'm kind of just a heavy bolter team buffing build, which is kind of why I thought it was fitting to go with a Imperial Fist. You know, hold the team together like glue. Because we got Bonds of Brotherhood. I believe I brought Bonds of Brotherhood. Oh my goodness, my god. My goodness gravy. Bonds of Brotherhood is in here. I should have filled up some ammo before shit got hectic here. Okay, let's just get out of that. I don't want to... Unless I've got my shield up, I don't really want to face tank all of that. Like that. That's why you don't want to do that. Throw some grenades, maybe. Okay, good headshots. Okay, let's go. Take care of ya. Oh, my secondaries. Is that... shit. I wish that I could look at my prestige perks. I got ammo back from my primary, and I can't remember what perk I have that's doing that. I think it's the prestige perk. There we go. Give that guy a little stop. Let's go ahead and play some objective here the best I can while we're fighting. I'm gonna try to scoop my way around right. That still hit me? Oh, I'm so dead. I'm dead. Oh my goodness, dude. I hate that you can't stop that. You can't stop the first attack. My reflexes are definitely off today. Just for this first match. This is my warm-up match. Luckily, it doesn't look like we're too overwhelmed. They should be able to deal with that. It just sucks having two Raveners on you at one time when it's like that, and they're both attacking you. They've got their attacks staggered. That's rough. Luckily, we do have Bonds of Brotherhood, so I'll get picked up at full health. Ooh, I don't know if I can get to that in time. Yeah, close. Can't even see his head from here. Okay, let's get this bomb down. Oh, he's got that one. Okay, where's my next one? Right here.
Ready to blow.
Perfect dodge. Fully cools my gun, by the way, I'm pretty sure. I like just put this build together too, and I'm already like forgetting what I brought in. I talked about this on my weekly video, that it's like I'm just so used to playing Space Marine 2 just for fun that I'm not used to putting together like actual builds and then making use of them. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do to make the most use of this build. It kind of just is a general... Hey, get me out of that animation, please. It kind of is just a general, you know, team bonding together setup. This thing shreds. I know a lot of people are not a big fan of the heavy bolter. I also generally am not a big fan of the heavy bolter. I'm gonna yoink this stim. I know the other guy really needs it, but I could get rid of my mortal with this. That might have been a little bit greedy, because I am full health. Any other stims, he can definitely take it. I just figured my thought process with that is, they pinged the stim like 10 minutes. That's a bit of a stretch. They pinged the stim like 3 or 4 minutes ago. He didn't, you know, specifically target it. He's low on health already, so the stim will not get him out of mortal, whereas the stim will get me out of mortal. Situations like that, I feel like you just need to use like a little bit of critical thinking where it's more beneficial for me to have it. But I guess you could also argue that it's more beneficial for him to have it, because if he dies and goes on cooldown, this could potentially save him from dying and going on cooldown. But I don't know. Sometimes I don't mind when a brother goes on cooldown when we have two people that are capable of surviving decently on their own, because you can just get him back without mortal for free, basically, if you just kill enough things. Sometimes, even though the cooldown is really long, if you're just killing enough shit, the cooldown is actually quite short. Shorter than, you know, like lethal difficulty or ruthless difficulty even, because you got to actually wait the whole timer out for that. Hello, guardsman. We gotta go. I love playing Decapitation for the reason that I love going up to this guy over here, Mr. Captain Man, and I always love kneeling with him. I gotta hit this. Unless I'm playing a faction that really doesn't care. I don't know. I like to get a little bit roleplay with it. Not like crazy, but a little bit roleplay. Like if I'm playing like a faction that, you know, obviously wouldn't do it, then then sometimes I go and I don't salute them. But I always feel guilty. I love that. I love the guardsman and woman. Dude, it's so hard to lock onto his head there. Freaking console auto aim is really hard to fight with sometimes, only on certain enemies. Like on Majoris, it's a huge advantage having, you know, auto aim lock on, because it kind of like target locks to their body, and all you got to do is get used to flicking your stick. Flicking your stick. You heard it here on the Buffy channel. Everybody flick your stick. All you gotta do is flick your stick up, and you know, once you find the right sensitivity, which was really fucking me up once I switched setups, because switching to a smaller screen, it kind of throws you off because I had a certain sensitivity I was used to. But finally, I feel like I have a sensitivity where I'm like able to actually target track. You just lock in for a minute here. It's so funny to me how the biggest downside is supposed to be that Heavy doesn't get a melee weapon, but yet they give Heavy an ability that basically makes him the best melee horde clear. For Tyranids, at least. Like, you can just spam this shit out. There's no cooldown on this, and it attacks fast. You can just constantly stay in a state of pushing enemies off of you, and it gives you huge gun strikes. Like, every single time, it gives you a gun strike. Every time. Every time! It's crazy. How did this guy heal so much? Do we have... No, we don't. Oh, he must have stimmed. Okay, so good. He did get a stim. Hopefully he doesn't think too poorly of me because I took that one stim to try to get rid of my mortal. It turns out that I didn't really need it, at least not yet. So I feel a little bit guilty, especially if he would have died. But he held his own. He picked up a stim. He got some health back. One more stim, he'll be able to heal off that mortal. And I'm praying for him. I'm working with him. I'm not going to touch any more stims because I don't need it. I definitely don't need it. Because once I get rid of this mortal with this one stim, we'll be back to full health. Or close to, with no mortal wound. I won't need a stim probably for the rest of this round. So any other stims go to Jay over there. Make sure that he gets out of his mortal. If he does, then we'll be sitting real pretty. Real pretty. It is a beautiful day. Beautiful day indeed. I hope that you guys out there that may be watching this are also having a good day today. How you doing? What are you doing today? Where you at? Are you playing some Space Marine today? You better. You better get your daily tithes in. Gene Seed. Who wants that? Bulwark, probably? Yeah, Bulwark, grab that. And I just realized Jay has 2 stims already. He's fine. He could get out of his mortal. Okay, now I don't feel bad. I should have just checked the inventory. Okay, then we switch here. We get use of versatility. Big splashes, big splashes. Then that overheats. We switch back to our main gun. It's not the accuracy variant, so at this distance, it's pretty hard to make use of those headshots, but we do what we can. Not too bad. We got good use of our conversion field there. Hopefully we got our teammates' abilities set up. I haven't seen the tactical use one Auspex scan, I don't think. Shot my teammate there. Three stims on the team and a Bulwark carrying the Gene Seed. Very nice. I don't care about the Gene Seed. It kind of sucks. I really miss the days when you would play this game to go and specifically look all over the map for armory data, and Gene Seeds to make the most out of your experience. Bulwark, please. I know that you're supposed to be up there, but please, my man. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I don't really need that in particular. Okay, I wasn't gonna dodge there. I was playing chicken. I kind of knew he was gonna go into execute. I don't think that I can keep up damage-wise with a Pyroblaster. What the hell? What the hell are you doing back there? With a Pyroblaster tactical, especially on Tyranid missions. On Chaos, I think the Heavy Bolter would probably output more because it's much more single target focused damage. But on Tyranids, you just get so many kills. You get so much damage with your burn. It's ridiculous. I'll kneel with you if you don't mind, Mr. Templar. Oh, you're both Templars. Damn, I kind of wish that I joined in part way. Sometimes what I like to do, most of the time what I like to do, is if we're in the battle barge and I load in with a team and they're both using the same cosmetics, I'll go and really quickly change my cosmetics. I won't do like a full rework, but I'll go and like throw on a basic set of armor and then just go and click the Astartes heraldry option for Black Templars, just so that like I fit in, you know. And then it just feels cool being a whole Black Templars team. But now it's kind of ruining the immersion. 2 Black Templars and an Imperial Fist. Like, why am I here? Can't see a damn thing. Okay, all my shit's on cooldown. There we go. I want to just focus that Zoanthrope. Okay, Thropes are gone. That was a lot of damage. I might just use my stim here, actually. I don't think... My weapon was kind of on cooldown, I think. I didn't really want to risk that, and I don't want that mortal wound going into the boss fight. That's for sure. Kind of a little bit of a waste, I felt, but... it's okay. I didn't want to risk having to use another stim to get out of mortal, and then that's just not fair. Like, now we got the whole team full health, no mortals, going into the boss fight. I think that was pretty justified. And someone can take that stim. So Jay's got 1 stim already. I would like the Bulwark to take the stim, but he might have Invigorating Icon. Yeah. Oh no, wait, that's not even the Bulwark. Secure Stockpile, that's a tactical. So the Bulwark is Jay, so he's got it. So why did Tactical take the Gene Seed? Oh, well. I feel like maybe he was the best to take it, because he hasn't gone down. And then Jay took... Okay, so I'm going to take this stim. Oh, there's no stim. I'm tripping. There ain't even the stim anyways. Does the Emperor truly provide if there ain't no stim in the boss fighting room? Riddle me that. Is that heresy talk? It just may be.
There is no turning back.
All right, lads.
Ready for next encounter.
Let's win this. Really? Let me try to get an angle for some headshots here if I can. Bosses, they just move so much. Oh my goodness, look at this damage we're doing here. Holy dude. Is this an anime? That was dip, duck, dive, dipping and dodging. Goddamn. Okay, let's iframe through this. Very good. I don't want to fully damage that. I mean, fully overheat it. I kind of figured that was coming. Here, let's go ahead and grab a conversion field in here while we got people close together. Yeah, and then I knew that was coming. Headshots, 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 headshots. Let's just tank through it. Boom, easy. Destroyed. I don't even think I lost any health at all. Or I don't even know if any of my team lost any health at all. Good job. It's been a pleasure slaying Xenos with you, Mr. Black Templars. Appreciate it, appreciate it. So there you have it. Imperial Fist. Heavy Bonds of Brotherhood build. Nothing too crazy. I really do wish that the builds were a bit more in-depth in this game. Like, I wish that they would kind of change it up so that you had, like, decent choices to make, like, 3 solid builds out of every single class, and then mix and match to make, like, really off-meta builds kind of thing. I think that would really, really be nice for the game. Because, you know, if you're actually playing top-tier stuff, like, if you're playing Absolute, if you're playing hard stratagems, it kind of locks you into playing 1, maybe 2 builds that are top tier and can hold their own, or like at least give you like the easiest possible time on hard stratagems. So yeah, I don't know. I wish that it was like that, but let's go ahead and take a look at the final sheet here. I did load in late, mind you, so I don't know how my final damage will look, but we'll take a look here. Okay, so we're here at the final screen. Let's go ahead and take a look. We got 16,000 damage. Bulwark only got about 11,600 and 16,000 damage for the tactical, who only did range, didn't even touch his melee weapon. Very weird, very impressive. So decent damage, and yeah, that's about it. We got decent kills too, actually. So that's gonna be it for the Imperial Fist Chains of Duty Heavy Bolter build, the Bonds of Brotherhood build. We didn't really get to use too much of the Bonds of Brotherhood there. You know, sometimes you just get good team with good synergy, good players or whatever. People don't go down too often, so you don't really make that good of use with Bonds of Brotherhood sometimes, which is, I think, why people mainly stay away from it, because it is situational. And if you know, you've watched a couple of my videos, you'll pretty much always hear me talk about how the most valuable perks are usually always the ones that have a higher percentage of uptime. So if you're like keeping a perk useful 100% of a mission, and Bonds of Brotherhood only gets good use once in a mission because only one person goes down, you know, obviously the other perk is going to be better. So take Bonds of Brotherhood with a grain of salt. It definitely can be useful, and it definitely can carry runs, but it's one of those ones that's quite situational. Still fun to play nonetheless. So if you enjoyed, go ahead, leave a like, leave a comment, leaving any suggestions or anything like that. And we'll hopefully see you in another video. Bye-bye.